All right. Um, this is my second time recording. I really don't have a script to this or anything like that because I feel like I'm awful when it comes to topics like these, but also sometimes I get in my head when it comes to talking about something in terms of a topic that I'm basically talking about. This one right here is definitely way out of my comfort zone, but I feel like I needed to say something after what I had just watched. I watched Beastars episode 10. I reacted to that episode, and in one of the scenes, or in a scene, we see Legoshi's mother pop up, Laiano, and she's talking about her experience and life, how she grew up to who she is, and why, and leading up to the story as to why she committed suicide that day. Where in that show, it portrayed all these people that were judging her for the way that she looked, for being a mixed breed of a herbivore and a carnivore, being born the way she is, and just being overall being in an environment where people were toxic towards her, especially being in a position where she was able to gain fame and notoriety in her name and everything, and being able to do quite well for herself and everything. And the one thing, I'm about to cry again, but I'm gonna keep my I'm gonna try to keep my composure. The one thing that had me in tears before she took her own life is she was in bed with her son, just snuggling with him before before she passed. And that to me was the saddest thing. And the saddest thing about it is people pushed her to that brink. And that's why I wanted to talk about this, because no matter no matter how people no matter how different people tell you tell you, or no matter if people judge you for who you are, what you look like, or basically what you do, and they say all these toxic things and this, that, and the third, don't let anybody tell you different, and don't let anybody push you to that brink, because you have a chance in this life to really show what you're made of, and to really do anything that you want to do in the first place, because you are valued, you are loved, and you are respected, even if you don't feel like it, even if you don't feel valued in anything that you do in the first place. You are valued, and there are people who care about you, even if it seems like people who don't care about you in the first place. There are people who push you to that brink. Sometimes you also have self doubts about what you're doing, and you don't know whether you're doing something right or wrong anymore. Because I'm talking from experience from when I tried to commit suicide. I've been to that dark place before, where I felt like no matter what I was doing, nothing was working out for me, and that and it was also a mixture of other things and mistakes that I've pretty much made in my past. And sometimes we feel shameful for the mistakes that we make, and the things that we repetitively do, and the mistakes that we constantly make to this to this day. With me being in that dark place, I remember it like yesterday. I was working on a capstone project at my high school, because if I was going to graduate from my high school, I needed to complete the capstone project. If I didn't, then I wouldn't graduate. I would have been a high school dropout, of course, that would have had to apply for GED, pretty much, which is another form of diplomacy for like school and everything, for like high school. So I was working on it, and and nothing was and I felt like I was doing so much, like, because I was trying to I was reading and reading and reading constantly, and I had no idea how to put this capstone project together myself. And I got to a point. I got to a point where I was really low, and it felt like nothing was working. I got depressed, uh, and it was dark in my room and everything. I got I got emotional, and there was also an other mixture of thoughts in the first place, because I felt like no matter how hard I worked on this project, I felt like I wasted my time. I felt like I just took time itself, crumbled it up, and just threw it in the trash in the first place. That shame got to got to me, where I wasted my time, where I wasted my time, and I didn't even know. I lost the sense of purpose of why I was doing what I was doing right then and there, right then and there, and and it just felt like I was a waste of potential as well. With everything that I know, I kept on making the same mistakes over and over and over again. You know, like I've committed a lot of sins over the course of my life, right, and everything. It was due to also the procrastination. Looking back, I was watching a lot of YouTube videos. I was playing a lot of I was playing a lot of video games, and I was playing a lot of video games. I wasn't really doing anything special at all. I mean, I got good grades in high school and everything, but it was like, what's the point of that? Point of that if I'm not really doing anything of value. And I grew a fetish to pornography itself, at that point as well. And I was really, and if anything, I was ashamed of myself for who I even become. So I had all those thoughts at one. So I had all those thoughts at once, and so I decided I just wanna end it all. And I took a razor, and I started I started cutting myself on my wrists, and the scars are still there, as you can see right here. This well, I don't think you can. I didn't die from it at all whatsoever, but I think after the damage was done, and I was still breathing breathing. I called for help the next day, because I knew that something was serious. Because from that point, I come to the conclusion of something is definitely wrong with me, wrong with me, and so I seek the help that I needed. Um, of course, my dad whooped my ass afterwards. That's not even funny, because I tried to kill myself, and I put the entirety of my family in a fucking panic. My dad took a picture of my wrist, sent it to my mom, and she was struggling to hold her tears as she was working at the hair salon. I made everyone afraid. I scared the shit out of everyone everyone I've and not only that, I hurt a lot of people that day, all for a capstone project, and the negative thoughts that were just surfing in my head. And so from that point forward, I went to therapy. I went to therapy for a certain amount of time, and I got better, and I learned, and I'm still learning to this day. Valuing myself, and making sure that I'm alright in the things that I'm doing. And this happened in 2021. So if I were to take my life in 2021, I would I would have not have been working at the McDonald's that I'm working in as of right now. I wouldn't have been taking going to the Media Arts Center and taking this internship, needless to say. And needless to say, I wouldn't have seen the growth of my YouTube channel, so to say, if I wouldn't have been pursuing YouTube, if if I took my own life, that would have been it for me. I would have been dead at the age of 19 years old, 19 to 18 years old. The reason why I'm here is because I I am an entertainer, you know, and I'm a creator, and the reason why I make videos, and the reason why I do the things that I do for YouTube, and the reason why I'm creative at the things that I do is because I want to pull people out of that dark space. I want to pull people out of that mindset, and hope that I steer people in the right direction with the content that I create, of course. With Lyanno being the figure that she was in the show of Beastars, if she would have if she would have stayed alive, Legoshi would have still had a mom, and she would have made a difference in that world, and show people that you can live as a hybrid of a herbivore and a carnivore. That's why I say value yourself. That's why I say to make sure make sure that you're using your time wisely, and to make sure that you don't let nobody tell you different, because you have so much to give in this world. It's not the end of the world. You still got this. You still got this. You just need time to grow, evolve, and time to heal. Because when you use that time to heal, and clear your mind for 1 second, you'll be able to do so many amazing things with your life. As someone who has made a lot of mistakes in his life, I've been able to build myself up, being the content creator that I am, being the creator, being the funny, stupid person that I am on the fucking camera, being the person that I am to uplift others and everything. I've been able to learn how to record, edit videos, and just put my time into the things that I'm doing to show people, and to uplift people from dark times. That's the main reason why I do this. So please take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Take care of your well-being, and remember, life is not It's not the end of the world. You still have time to make right on your wrongs. You still have time. You still have time to do the things that you want to do, and don't let no motherfucker tell you different, because you don't know what they could be changing for your future. Make sure whatever it is that you want to accomplish, you make sure that you accomplish it. You want to lose weight, go ahead and lose weight. As someone who looked like the fucking Grinch, you know what I'm saying? I remember being bloated. I remember my belly was out like this, but now it's in like this. And as someone who had a porn addiction, as someone who had an addiction of devaluing myself, because you know what, I said scratch all that and value myself more. Take care of yourself and make sure that you value yourself. You have so much to offer in this world, even if people are telling you different. Like I said before, I could have been gone 3 years ago, but here I still am, making videos. I believe in myself to make a difference and to make an impact on this world. Why else was I put here on this earth in the first place? Why were we put here on on this earth to make a difference? So don't waste your potential. Whatever it is that you have, you show that to the world, because you have a lot to give to the world in the first place. Even if you don't want to give the world shit, you still have something to show. And don't let people tell you different. Don't let people take advantage of you and whatnot. Make sure that you do your story the way you want to do it. And you make sure that whatever it is that you want to accomplish it. You know? It's not gonna be easy, but in due time you will succeed. You will succeed, you know? I'll tell you what, I've been doing YouTube for 5 years and I still haven't been monetized on my YouTube channel. I ain't getting paid shit for this, but does it mean I'm gonna stop doing it? No. Because this is my outlet. This is where I can express myself. This is a place where I can make other people's days better, hopefully. It's so important to be respectful and be kind to others, because you don't even know what they're going through. Sometimes you gotta just stop and understand where the person is coming from, and you gotta just, stop with the judgments, stop with all this extra shit, and just see the person as a person. Treat each other equally. Be kind to one another. Be respectful to one another. And yo, value yourself. Value yourself.